Happy Wednesday, Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel, coming at you on this bright Wednesday afternoon. As you can see, Tennessee Lady Vols announced their first two signings today. It was reported earlier in the week Alyssa Latham from Syracuse had committed. It was announced today she'd officially signed. Did a video talking about the men's program, passed along just a little bit of what I was speculating on and heard with the Lady Vols. Is not seen a whole lot on there. I've speculated. I just wonder at some point if Lazaria Spearman, who visited this past weekend, would be in the boat at some point, because I had not seen anything where was scheduled to visit anywhere else. But it was announced today that Latham and Spearman have indeed both officially signed with the Lady Vols. So that gives Coach Caldwell her first two signings of her new era. And so adds, 6'1", 6'2" with Latham, depending on what it is, 6'4" with Spearman. So both of them, Latham coming out of high school before she went to Syracuse, was rated I think in at least some publications, the top player in the state of Illinois. Spearman, coming out 2 years ago, coming out of Georgia, was rated top 30 in the nation. She was the number 2 player in Georgia coming in. So this past year, she averaged, I think it was around 6.4 points per game and around 6 rebounds per game. So this adds, somebody in the paint, adds a shot blocker, adds a rebounder in there. Latham as well. I showed some highlights of her after she committed. It was the highlights of the game from Notre Dame. She can step out and hit the three. She runs the court well. One of her strengths, it says, is her offensive rebounding. She's relentless on the offensive boards. So this adds 2 ladies to the fold who can get up and down the court. And, of course, with Coach Caldwell's offense, this is going to be an offense that's going to get up and go. It's not going to waste a lot of time. It's going to get a lot of possessions. You're not looking at a Kevin O'Neal, late 80s, early 90s offense. You're looking at an offense that's pretty much what you would expect out of a Danny White era coach. It's a young coach that likes offense. And I know she likes to play a lot of players. So where does Tennessee Lady Vols, where do they go in the portal moving forward? I think depending on where they're at, they could still withstand to add 2 or 3 more players. Who are those going to be? There's not a lot of names out there. It's just a lot of speculation. It was speculating, it's still there, Aaliyah Nye from Alabama, which I did see something where she is visiting Notre Dame. So I have not seen anything about that. I did see in the article from Maria Cornelius that said that at the bottom that, of course, these were the first 2 signings for Kim Caldwell, and it said there will be more visits. There should be more. So I've seen speculation out of maybe somebody from Clemson visiting, and based on what I've seen and what I've been told, it's Ruby Whitehorn from Clemson. And then there's the possibility of any other names, possibly Lachey Dwyer from Miami as another one. Of course, they've already gotten Spearman from Miami. Dwyer is a point guard who could possibly, just a name I've seen mentioned. Not sure if there's any visits that are imminent or anything like that on it. But, beyond that, I have searched pretty hard and not found a lot of information on them so far. So if anything else comes along, I'll keep you posted on that. But the Kim Caldwell era, it is off and running. They do have a couple ladies in the boat, and they're ready to rock and roll. So we'll see where it gets. They've had good news with some of their other players who have announced they're coming back. Of course, Spear is coming back. You have Wells, Strickland, Darby. Some of these you can add Spearman in with Hollingshed, who is 6'5", both of them from Georgia. So that'll give them a couple ladies who are, your taller ladies in the paint. So Lady Vols are adding some good size. They want some people who can rebound. Now, what's next for them to add? You got to think they got to be looking for some shooters at some point. So who do they look to add? If they could add Nye to the fold, you got to hope your Roman Tubner connection comes in handy there. And I wonder with these Miami connections, possibly if Gabe Lazo is possibly in on those a little bit. He was a high school coach in Miami, and then he worked his way up. He was apparently pretty well connected in that. So you got to wonder what kind of connections the Lady Vols will have with Lazo on staff in that Miami area. But like I said, I'll keep you posted on anything going forward, and I'll probably record something here in a minute, just an update on the men today, some updates. Some of the guys who transferred out found new homes today. And then, of course, there's still rumors. There's another name hit the portal, a couple names mentioned today in connection. I'll probably record that here in a little bit as well. And then I'd like to get a baseball preview with Missouri for this weekend recorded as well. So I hope you'll stick around for that. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you appreciate the contents coming out, feel free. There's that super thanks down in that bottom corner over here. As those things are available, if you want to drop something in there to say thanks, it is always appreciated on there. But my name's Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. I hope you enjoyed Wednesday. And last but certainly not least, go Lady Vols.
Everyone rejects me.